story is scary. This is an incident heard from our doctor uncle. About 40 years ago. At that time, Uncle was studying in medical college. Medical college was very old and built by the government. There was a dead body house in the hospital. Many rumors were heard about that mortuary. Some say spirits roam there at night. After 12 at night there are cries, screams and other strange noises. One night a ward boy was doing night duty there when he heard a woman crying. Leaning through the window, he saw a burnt woman sitting up on her bed. Seeing that, he ran away and never came back. There was a group of boys in his college. Once, while chatting at night, a bet was made. 1,000 rupees will be given to anyone who stays in the mortuary for 1 hour at midnight. One boy in that group of 7 or 8 accepted the bet. The boy's name was Viraaj. Next day all preparations were done. Security guard was convinced by giving a small amount of money and a bottle of liquor. Viraaj was ready around 12 at night. Door unlocked and Viraaj entered the dead body house. As the door was rolled back, other boys outside put the lid back on and closed the door. There was an eerie silence in the mortuary. Dim light from the windows had spread throughout the house. For the first 5 minutes, Viraaj was leaning against the wall near the door and just looking in front. After some time he sat down. Despite the boldness, fear was slowly creeping in. Viraaj was starting to feel a little uneasy at the thought of being alone in mortuary at around 12 o'clock in the night. 20 minutes had passed. Viraaj was sitting down there. The eyes were wide open. There was a stagnant atmosphere in mortuary. In front of the Viraaj there were rows of beds and mats placed on them. Viraaj was slowly looking at all the corpses one by one. The realization that we are sitting alone in a closed room with those unconscious dead bodies was heart-chilling. For a moment Viraaj regretted accepting this bet. The last window of the mortuary was open and the light was falling directly on one dead body. Viraaj's eyes fell on that corpse. For a moment Viraaj felt a faint movement on that bed. A wave of fear surged through Viraaj's body and directly entered his brain. Viraaj stood up. The hair on his neck stood up in fear. And suddenly, the movement on the last bed was now clearly visible to Viraaj. Slowly the corpse started to sit up in its place. The white sheet on the body was spread over the corpse. Viraaj's heartbeat increased. He tried to scream, but no sound came out of his throat. The corpse was now sitting up on the bed, straightening from the waist. The sheet was slowly sliding down from the head. Letting out a terrible scream, Viraaj started hitting the door. Viraaj was dragged out of the room by the boys outside in a commotion. When he came out, Viraaj ran away. He ran out of the hospital screaming. Few boys ran after him while others were giggling. Boys were standing discussing that Viraaj had lost the bet. Inside, one of their friend Vikram, who was going to sleep on the bed as dead body, boys were waiting for him. For a long time, Vikram did not come out. Few boys went inside mortuary. Vikram was lying on the 4th bed with the sheet pulled. He was picked up by the boys and brought outside. All of them left the mortuary. When Vikram was asked what had happened inside, he told that he had no idea what had happened. Neither he remembers Viraaj coming inside the mortuary nor screaming out of it. When Vikram went to the mortuary and slept on the bed, within a few moments he started getting terribly cold, and before he knew it, he was lying there unconscious. Hearing this, the children's chatter turned. If Vikram had fallen unconscious there, who on that last 5th bed, who woke up on the bed.